Hey boys and girls, today we are going to take our brainstorming that we did yesterday and we're going to turn it into a full-blown writing. Now parents, I know that the idea of writing can be really overwhelming. Don't let it be. We're going to walk step by step through it, pause the video as you need to, but I'm going to take you every step of the way. Before we get started, I'm going to give you a second to go get everything you need. You need your brainstorming from yesterday. You need the next page after that, after your workbook. It's in your workbook. It's going to be 4.2. You need to go ahead and tear that out. You need something to write with, preferably pencil. And I recommend, but you don't have to, just a little scrap of paper. We're going to make a checklist for you. So pause the video for a second and go get those few things. Alright, so I'm assuming you've got your stuff in front of you. We've got our brainstorming, we've got where we're going to write, we've got what we're going to write with, and let's go ahead and make our checklist. So, as we write, there are a few things we want to make sure that we're looking for. And I'm going to write them on this piece of paper. You're welcome to write with me if you decide you want one. So, I know that my sentences at the beginning need a capital letter. And I'm going to mark my capital letters to remind me that that's what that says. I also know that I need finger space. And I'm going to draw a finger to remind me that that's what that is. So, finger space between my words. I also need punctuation, because this is a story and it's informative. It's telling about an event. I should only need periods, but we'll check as we go. So I need capital letters, finger space, punctuation. And I'm going to set that to the side. Okay, so let's start looking at what we're going to do our writing. Now, boys and girls, remember, my writing is on our fairy tale ball that we had, because I picked an event that we all had together. Your writing should not be about the fairy tale ball. You can do an event that happened at school, but I do not want you writing about the fairy tale ball. If you misunderstood and did your brainstorming about the fairy tale ball, you need to pause the video now and pick a different event, because I don't want you writing the exact same thing I did. I want you using your big, beautiful brain to put your own ideas on paper. So take a second, look over your brainstorming, make sure you've got what your event was, who was there, where and when, beginning, middle, and end, and why the event happened. If you have to do a new brainstorming, think about things like your birthday party. It could be if you've ever broken a bone. I've had people write about that in years past. Your favorite thing we've done this school year that's not the fairy tale ball. Trips you've taken with your family. Things like that all make for really good writings. You want something that was special for you. So, we're going to put this on top. Just like always, make sure you put your name at the top. And let's get started. So, even though our first sentence, according to this, is our who and who is in the tale, it's also going to serve as our topic sentence. Remember, our topic sentence is like our umbrella. Everything else we write can be put under it. Our topic sentence says what everything else we write about is going to have to do with. So I know I need to include that it's our class and we had a fairy tale ball. So let's think. Our class had a fairy tale ball. Pretty simple. It's got the two things we need, and the rest of our writing is going to be about these people and this event. So that's perfect. Our, get that good capital letter, class, good finger space between, had a fairy tale ball. I didn't even have to sound any of those words out because we sounded them out while we were doing our brainstorming. Now, at the end of each sentence, I recommend you pull out your checklist. Do we have a capital letter? We do. Do we have finger space between our words? Do we have punctuation? And I guess at the end you can put, does it make sense? Does what you wrote make sense? If we had no idea what we were talking about and somebody walked up and said, our class had a fairy tale ball, would you know what they were talking about? We have a who, we have our do. All right, let's go to our next one. Now, I recommend you just go and continue next to it, just like we would on a normal piece of paper. I know they put questions out next to it, but some of you are going to write a good bit, so I don't want you to run out of space. So our next sentence needs to tell us all about our setting. It needs to tell us the where and the when. So our class had a fairy tale ball. It was in the auditorium, there's our where, on March 6th. So I can start here. It was in the, and I already sounded out auditorium. I don't think I can fit auditorium there, so I'm going to come down to this next row. Auditorium on March, oops, we ran out with a little bit of space. March 6th, and I want to add the date, or the year to our date, so that we know when it happened. And I'm going to pull out my checklist, and I'm going to check. Capital letter, I've got good finger space, we've got punctuation, doesn't make sense. It was in the auditorium on March 6, 2020. Now, if we walked up to somebody and we said this sentence alone, it might not make complete sense because we used the word it. But I know that it is talking about what? It's referring back to our fairy tale ball. We're about to do a bunch of stuff with words like that. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Now, parents, I didn't mention, it's up to you how you want your child to do this. Y'all can watch the whole video and then they can write, or after I do each sentence, you're welcome to pause the video and have them do that part of their writing. It's whatever your child thinks is going to work best for them. If you finish the video and you go to write and you struggle, you can start it over. That's one of the benefits of this process. So we've got our topic sentence that gives us our who and our what. Our second sentence tells us all about the setting. Now let's get into the important stuff. Not that that's not important, but now we get into our beginning, middle, and end. So what took place that day? Now I chose to begin at the beginning of the day. So that's a great way to start my sentence. At the oh, you can't see my writing. Beginning. That's one of our inflectional endings we've learned about. So I have to think. So begin has a short vowel and one consonant at the end. So if I just add ing, this is going to become beguining. Can't do that. So I need to protect my short vowel. At the beginning of the day, we came to school. I don't have to sound out school. That's one of those words we've seen a lot, so I know how to spell it. At the beginning of the day, we came to school in our, let's see, I spelled that sounded out costumes last time, so I can put that now. In our costumes. At the beginning of the day, we came to school in our costumes. So, there's my beginning. Now, middle. We ate a snack. I can't just write in the middle we ate a snack because that doesn't really give me enough information. So I may need to add more to this. In the middle of the day, the ball began and we ate a snack. There we go. I think that'll give me enough information. In the middle of the day, the ball began and we ate a snack. Ooh, I noticed that this word, I want it to be the word ate. But the way I have it written now, it's at. I know that if I add a sneaky E to the end of that word, it goes from at to ate. So let's look at our story so far. Our class had a fairy tale ball. It was in the auditorium on March 6, 2020. At the beginning of the day, we came to school in our costumes. In the middle of the day, the ball began and we ate a snack. So we've got beginning, middle, and now we need an end. Boys and girls, while you're writing, you don't always have to start with beginning, middle, end. You can use first, next, last. You could use any words that help it flow, but those are some suggestions. So I don't want to do at the end. I want to do last. Last, we all danced. Sounds like a T, but I know that the word danced is just the word dance with ed at the end because it already happened. So I have to think about that because it's not a T. We have to use what we know about our word. So dance, it's a soft C, so I know I need an E. And then to change it from dance to danced, I just add another D. Last, we all danced with our friends. Okay, so we've got beginning, middle, and end. We are already at our last sentence. Our last sentence, we want to tell why was it important? Why did it happen? So we had a fairy tale ball to end our fairy tale knowledge unit. That's a sentence right there. If you can explain it in a complete sentence, it's probably a good sentence to end with. So we had a fairy tale ball to end our I sound out knowledge the other day while we were brainstorming, so I can copy it. To end our knowledge unit. But that's not the only reason we did it. What else did we learn about to show at our fairy tale ball? We showed off our manners, right? And instead of show off, let's do practice. And practice. There's another soft C. Good manners. Now, you're probably noticing that I stopped using my checklist. I did that more for the sake of time. I do recommend that as you finish each sentence, you go through and check with your checklist and make sure you've got your capital letter, make sure you've got punctuation, things like that. Parents, or grandparents or whoever's doing the work with you today. I know it's really, really hard not to correct all of their spelling. Please don't. A lot of students, it'll stress them out, and it's going to make them ask you to spell every word for them. It's okay if they sounded the words out. As you see, I did too. They shouldn't be perfect. Now, if it's a tricky word that they've been studying all year, I do recommend you correct it, because if you don't, they're going to continue spelling it wrong. But for the most part, as long as you can sound it out and read it, it's perfect and it's beautiful. Boys and girls, I want you to go through, check your writing, make sure you're really, really happy with it. If you would like to get out some paper and draw a picture to go with it, I would love to see your illustrations. But when you're finished, I want to see your writing. I want to read about this event that you think was so important to you. So if you can get somebody to help you, take a picture of both sides of your writing and upload it either on this assignment page or through Dojo. I want to read it and see how beautiful your writing is. I miss you. I can't wait to see your face again, and I hope you did your very best, and I know your writings are going to be beautiful.